severe thunderstorm warning, but you're also under a tornado watch. So this is headed your way. I would recommend taking cover right now as well. As you see just to the bottom left-hand side of Covington, there's a little purple on the radar there as well near Perrysville. We've gotten some reports out of Illinois at times that some large hail was falling that could possibly be a hail core as well. So we want to remind you that we are going to be on air tracking the tornado warnings, the severe thunderstorm warnings, and as Angela mentioned, we have that tornado watch in effect for all of central Indiana until 8 o'clock tonight. But if you have a warning in place for a severe thunderstorm warning, you may hear those sirens go off. So we will continue to keep you updated, and I have a feeling that we will hear those sirens as we go throughout the afternoon too. There's a look at what counties are under the tornado warning in red, including Warren County until 2:45 this afternoon, Vermilion County, and as we start to look to the east, Fountain County's under that as well, 2:45 p.m. I have had a few questions on Twitter. What do I do if I live on the second floor of an apartment building and these storms do move a little bit closer to the Indy metro area? I would say make friends with your neighbor on your downstairs floor very, very quickly. Obviously, do not leave your house if we are in the middle of a storm, but we still have time to prepare here in the Indianapolis metro area, and we will continue to watch that as we head into the afternoon. Sean, were you able to get any new information?
Yeah, I can tell you there's a report coming out of the Lincoln Weather Service office of extreme damage in Gifford, Illinois. If you guys want to pop up GR2 real quickly, I've got it centered on Gifford. All right, it's right here. The storms are long gone now, right, because they're moving at such a fast pace. But emergency manager reporting extreme damage. Some structures are gone, he says. Now, that is a report. We haven't had visual on that, but that's why we're on the air right now, because these storms can spin up very rapidly, especially in the environment that they're playing with, which is highly conducive in west central Indiana for long track, very dangerous tornadoes. And so as you look at the radar, you can see downstream from the cell that we're very concerned with over Covington is Lafayette and Purdue University. So we need you to be on high alert. You need to be in your shelters. I know we're not under a warning right now, but that likely will change. I'm just going to back the radar up a little bit. Okay, well,
yes, it looks like, Sean, you were right. We're starting to get some new warnings.
New warnings coming in. Nicole's showing me in Montgomery, Warren, Fountain, Tippecanoe.
These are until 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Until 3 o'clock. At this point in time, let me double check on that. That is still radar indicated. So even Indianapolis at this point in time doesn't have confirmed verification that this is still on the ground. But we know it has a history of damage. And so that's why we're you got to be in your safe shelters right now. You have to, because
Sean,
these cells are moving so fast.
Gifford, where is that in relationship to like Danville, Illinois, that people might be a little more familiar with?
Well, that was on the northern cell. So
okay,
there were two cells. That was on the northern supercell, it appears, that they're now beginning to congeal into a little more linear format. Let's switch it over to Live Doppler 13, which is a great tool because the storms are moving so fast. And if you want to flatten that perspective out just a little bit, Kelly, and then maybe pull it out so we can kind of have a relation to where Lafayette is. And that little curvature there is where I would be a little concerned about a possible spin-up, right on the apex of that bow. We're starting to get what we call cell merger, and so that's the area of concern. Up a little farther to the north of Covington, right in that area right there, that's where we would have the potential of a spin-up.
Right now, we want to go ahead and toss out to Rich Nye, who is in the field. He is actually hearing tornado sirens go off. Rich, can you please tell us where you are and what you're seeing?
Yes, good afternoon. I am at the I-65 exit at Indiana State Road 38. I am just south of Lafayette, just west of Dayton, Indiana, and you are looking at the storm warning siren, which just went off here in the last minute in Dayton, Indiana. Throughout the afternoon, we've been here since about 11:30 this morning, and so far we've seen just some very light rain and very strong wind. In fact, as we come back around here, let me show you with my handkerchief. This wind has really been gusting straight out of the south, and as we show you the clouds up here, you can see just how fast these clouds are moving. But again, we are just off Interstate 65. We are just south of Lafayette and Tippecanoe County, just west of Dayton, Indiana, and these storm warning sirens have gone off in just the last minute. Now, we are going to take shelter. In fact, you may have been able to tell I'm at a car wash. Not to make light of the situation, we don't need a car wash today, but we do have some safety here. We'll be seeking some shelter here in this brick building where we can still bring you some live pictures as this storm arrives in Tippecanoe County. So that's the scene here. Skytrack 13 will have you covered. We'll be here as this storm, as you're telling us, should be here not too far.
Rich, thank you so much. We really appreciate that live report. We'll be checking in with you. Of course, your safety is our #1 priority, so make sure that you have that in place, that you stay safe as those storms come your way. Want to remind you as we take a look at live Doppler 13 radar right now, Rich is right around Lafayette, and you see we have that tornado warning for portions of Lafayette, and also as we look towards Crawfordsville, Tippecanoe County until 3 o'clock this afternoon, Montgomery County until 3 o'clock. And we will continue to watch these storms as they do track off to the north and also the east. As Angela and Sean have been mentioning, they're moving very, very quickly. I also want to remind you that tornado sirens are only supposed to warn you that a storm is coming your way if you are outside. So do not rely on tornado sirens if you are inside to warn you of an incoming storm this afternoon. Meteorologist Kelly Green put a storm track on there for you. I'm going to read the cities, but what I want you to look at is that sweep on live Doppler 13 radar. Look what happens as it goes towards Lafayette. These storms are racing so quickly that when our scan, which only takes 3 minutes, goes across, these storms are jumping through the counties very rapidly. As you start to look towards Shadeland, that will be in your area at 2:46 p.m., West Lafayette 2:49, Lafayette 2:50. But these are moving so quickly. Take cover now. Do not use those times as I have a few extra minutes. No, if you are in those counties that we mentioned, including Montgomery County and Tippecanoe County, you need to take cover right now. A tornado warning is in effect for you.
Yeah, especially, Kelly, if you can, let's go ahead. Now keep in mind, our live scan is going to be way ahead of the velocity scans that we're going to show you from the National Weather Service office because our radar, again, is live. So, Kelly, if you want to pop up the velocities there on live Doppler 13 radar, and what we're going to look for is our couplets in the velocities, winds blowing toward and away from the radar. And right now, we see a little bit of a signature. It's not as pronounced as it was earlier. I'm going to pull the radar out just a little bit. You can see the polygon that's just west of Purdue University. But if you are a student on the campus, we want you in your safe spots at this point in time. And, well, I take that back. There's a very strong tornado couplet right there near Petersburg. Now, mind you, this is going to be way behind our live scan, but that is what we're looking for. And basically, we're having winds that are rotating. And where you see them in a very tight circulation like that, there is a pretty high likelihood that this thing may be on the ground. And so we're going to have to kind of keep an eye out and monitor that. And once, as I mentioned, this is going to be lifting to the north-northeast at a very fast pace. So we'll go back to live Doppler 13 radar, which is giving us that live scan. And I suspect that they're going to extend this polygon based on that particular velocity scan and include most of Tippecanoe and Mulberry, Rossville down the road. This is just probably going to continue because the atmosphere is going to sustain this the rotation. And
that's what's going to be important to note as we head through the afternoon. Both Angela and Sean and Kelly, as you know, is that these warnings will be issued, but they will more than likely be extended. The coverage area will be extended as well as we start to get them picking up speeds as they continue to cross the state. We're looking at damaging winds as well as tornadoes as our primary concern as we head into your afternoon. So we will be watching the radar very closely. I know that Sean has been watching, of course, that velocity as well. And that's really what we look at to see where those winds are veering, to see if there is any kind of rotation. Angela, I'm going to throw it to you really quickly so we can go over those warnings again, because these will more than likely be expanded, but a lot of people need to be in safe spots right now.
You are right, Nicole, and these are some new warnings, and meteorologist Kelly Green kind of highlighting we'll go from south to north along this line of storms that is now in western and northwestern Indiana, prompting tornado warnings. One of the new warnings is Park County. That's a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Park County until 2:45, but also parts of that county under a tornado warning. Montgomery County until 3 o'clock. That is going to be this area here near Crawfordsville. Really, if you live anywhere from Crawfordsville to Lafayette. That cell that Sean showed you, that couplet that he mentioned as we were analyzing the velocities, that was near Covington in the western part of